He's just like, I just want to do what I want to do.
Yeah, but I tell you, he's never cold. He's detached, but he's never cold to where you know he's unlikable, unless he's too big to be Sherlock. Like, take that goddamn coat off. You ain't no Sherlock. Yeah. Shit, I might not be you, but I can recognize that shit right there. Case solved. You goddamn Superman. A lot of people didn't realize it, man. You always heard about the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. It's always been about him and the mysteries that he solves and whatnot. Little did people know that he actually has a sister. Now, somebody out there talking about, is she fine? You might want to ask some other questions first. Like, is she underage? Which is yes. I think she barely turned 16. At least if you go by the books that are written out there by, who is this?
Is it
Nancy Springer, man. There's a series of young adult books about Sherlock Holmes's little-known sister out there. And little-known little sister. But the thing with Sherlock Holmes, he's like, you know, well, the reason why you haven't heard about my little sister is because, well, frankly, I don't give a shit about her.
Right?
Her or her crazy-ass mama. Notice I didn't say my mama because I'm disowning both of them. I'm a world-famous detective. I ain't got time for this silly shit. Running around the house, breaking stuff, and shoot arrows inside the house.
Well, you know, Sherlock Holmes always thought women were silly.
Yeah, exactly.
And just a trifle to deal with.
I like the way Sherlock Holmes thought women were silly, and the silliest ones are related to me. My mama's a goddamn fool. And she ain't raising that girl to be no better. Playing tennis in the living room and shit. You know, it's too bad because actually for all of her silliness, or the silliness that he perceives in the women in his family, they actually have more in common than he knew. She is a smart girl, has an eye for attention to detail, which is always great for solving clues, or picking up clues to solve big mysteries. And she's going to need to do that right now because her mother, played here by Helena Bonham Carter, has mysteriously gone missing. And as I said, this is based on the series of young adult books that are out there that are so popular, even has a graphic novel there in case you need pictures with it. And now it's hoping to be a series of Netflix films. Of course, that's going to depend on how good this first one is. This first adventure of Enola Holmes. Let's go ahead and see the trailer. And we will come back to talk about whether or not her first adventure merits a second, third, fourth, maybe even a fifth, right after we watch this.
We were always together. And it was wonderful.
No wonder he don't want to deal with these goddamn fools over here.
Hey, they look like they're having fun.
Yeah, tearing up the goddamn house.
Man, Sherlock was always doing experiments, tearing up the house, too. He ain't no different.
In the name of science and trying to help society. Not just acting not acting stupid.
A wild woman brought up a wild child who will make her acceptable for society.
She seems intelligent.
See, that was uncalled for. I know they're supposed to look like, you know, kind of the bad guys here, but she is kind of, she's kind of crazy a little bit.
Hey, man, they put her in a situation.
They did.
She did not ask to be there.
No,
it's almost like they locked her up and sold her into slavery.
They sure did, and she didn't make it no better by throwing soup in her friends' faces. Yo. All right. Man, this is a school. You make me treat this like a prison. 2 more years. You're gonna be 40 before you leave school. I like this girl. She's like, this bitch. I've had it.
I must become something unexpected. A lady.
People, before you say anything, because Netflix, are y'all trying to just make people hate your shows?
I know.
In your movies?
That is so inappropriate. It has nothing to do with anything.
Well, I think the only thing it has to do with it is it's a song by that band Hole, led by Courtney Love.
Okay.
And the lyrics are kind of edgy, feminist edgy in a way.
Okay.
But don't nobody know that shit today. You know, unless somebody's actually singing that shit. I am a woman. You know, don't nobody know.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking the same thing.
Because I'm looking at what's going on. I know these scenes, but I'm like, why am I feeling like this is obnoxious? I was like, it's just music.
Well, you're just trying to make you need to fire your marketing department. Did Amazon send over some
Some spies.
some spies to sabotage your marketing department? Because y'all don't know what y'all doing, man.
You don't know how to embroider.
Might be even a tough sell just by hearing it, because you hear Sherlock, the adventures of Sherlock Holmes' little sister. That sounds like a really post-feminist bad kids show.
It does. You're right. You're right.
You know, it's like because even I hear that, I'm like, that sounds like one of those bad cartoons that came out in the late '80s and '90s.
Yeah,
like
James Bond Jr.
James Bond Jr., Sherlock Jr., or something like that. You know, and because the concept, it really does sound like those, like some executive trying to appeal to some girls or something. When she's not into boys and shopping, she's smart, just like her brother.
And
You know?
there's another bunch of books that are Sherlock Holmes' daughter, and I started some other book with a girl detective, and Sherlock Holmes is old and he's retired, and she's all like, I'm gonna show him up. I'm smarter than him. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to read this.
Yeah, and even today, trying to do that concept, they wouldn't make it a period piece like this. They'd make it. She'd be solving clues online, looking for clues on Instagram and shit. You know, now this is actually like two current shows, or shows that we know of in modern times today. I don't know, you might feel differently, but when I was watching this and seeing how it was working out, I said, you know what, this is a combination of that show Fleabag and Dora the Explorer.
Oh, huh.
You know, because
Okay.
like in Fleabag, the main character, who is called Fleabag, she's always breaking the fourth wall and talking to the audience.
I'm just going to ask her. I'm just going to come.
Do you need to borrow money? No.
And I like the way people just sitting by like, you know what, I'm just going to ignore this crazy bitch. People warn me about it. They say she talks to herself all the time. That's what they do in the show. People around and just act like, you know, they don't notice. People be standing right next to her, and she's just running her mouth at some invisible person right there.
Well, it's something they did in the second season where somebody.
I love that.
Oh, so you watched it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've seen this. I love this show, man.
Yeah, me too.
I especially love what they did with that little story mechanic right there. But at other times, she is like Dora, because she's not like Fleabag, where she's always just, you know, commenting on things and whatnot. Dora, you know, like Dora, there was a point in the movie where Enola really turned the audience, was just kind of like, I don't know, what do you think? Like, shit, I don't know, it's your movie. You tell me.
I didn't know there was a test.
Yeah, shit, I know there's a choose your own adventure. Actually, choose your adventure. There's a trick with this, man, and I think the trick for this to make her likable, because now we've seen a whole lot of movies and shows where I don't like this. I've been criticized for it before, and I would tell you, I don't give a fuck. I hate this when they actually try to lay on the feminist message too hard. The girl power thing too hard. So from my point of view, with this, the trick was, you're obviously trying to make her some feminist hero. So the trick for me today is like to make a feminist hero without feeling those heavy themes or messages that they try to lay down. And I think they do that very well here.
She, her place in society, that's always there. It's always like, yeah, you definitely have not even a glass ceiling, a very wood and plastic ceiling.
You have somebody telling you ain't shit. Mm-hmm. And see, that's what I admired about this, is that this is taking place where, you have the women's suffragette movement, you have women fighting for equality. It's those themes are everywhere, but they're not played heavy here.
No, they're not
at all. Let's just concentrate on one thing at a time, like her. We ain't trying to save the world here. We ain't even trying to save the country. Let's just concentrate on her story, and this other stuff, it goes along with her, and it will play nicely in the background and come into play with her when it absolutely has to.
Yeah. It's in the background, and it will intersect when these things merge and they become important.
Yeah, and it is. Things are up for women out there. But concentrating on her is a very good option, and not trying to like incorporate it too strong with these other things, because they let that environment speak for itself, which makes you like her a lot more. You know, you see her, man. You see how bright she is. You see how smart she is.
She's smart. She's competent. She's funny.
She's funny,
and she's always the underdog. Some of the people holding her back the most are her brothers, her own family, who should be on her side trying to help her out.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. Both, because Mycroft's already he's already a bitch, but both him and Sherlock need their ass beat for how they treat this girl.
They do.
They both have their own problems. I mean, because you think Mycroft, because Mycroft, who's played by Sam Claflin, he comes in immediately talking shit. Because they let him know
he's never not talking shit.
No,
I mean, he's got that handlebar mustache, very snidely whiplash, and I was just like, man, I hate you, but I can't wait to hear what you're gonna say next.
He comes in. He comes in talking shit, and he comes in talking shit about women. Oh, this women's movement of bullshit, whatever. Man, look, Mycroft, again played by Sam Claflin. Look, he's your typical British bitch. All right, he's smug, nose up at everything, snobby. Got that punk ass mustache, wears a monocle sometimes. And got that smarmy voice. Everything is, anything you tell him. Anything. You could tell, man, you can have more money than he does. And he'll find a way to just put your ass down.
I know.
That's what works with him, though, is that both him and Sherlock, they both have their faults, man. Because one thing I like about the relationship between him and Sherlock is that, yes, Mycroft, he's a shitty person, man, but... he's not a complete villain. And him and Sherlock, they have this relationship where Sherlock doesn't look down on him. They clearly don't like each other.
Right.
But
they have respect.
They have respect, and they actually indulge each other. They go, and I like that relationship. And something that's not heavy in the film, but that's what I like about that is that it keeps from playing into the same overplayed tropes that we see with Sherlock.
Yeah.
It's Millie Bobby Brown's show. Millie Bobby Brown, who we all know is what some people still think that's the little boy from Stranger Things. Look, this is her show.
She really comes into her own in this.
And she's come a long way since this, man. But the brothers don't steal the show, and especially Sherlock. Because Sherlock, who's played by Henry Cavill, Sherlock, he doesn't play it as an eccentric. He doesn't play it as an egomaniac who's coming in trying to steal every scene.
Yeah, it's like him when he's young, before he really gets to his full Sherlockness.
Yeah, the way he plays it is you see his brilliance, but it's quiet and in small parts, and they do let him have his Sherlock moments, but he's mostly just kind of a sexy observer. He's in the background because he plays it smooth. Hey, let me tell y'all something, man. For anybody out there want to know how to impress women, all you guys out there, shit, even some girls who want to know how to impress women, watch this. Watch Sherlock's performance in this. Watch his character. He observes, he pays attention, and every now and then, all he does is just give that look.
Well, it also helps to be 6'5" and 230 pounds of muscle.
And about to bust out your sleeves.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think Henry Cavill's acting is bad, but I was like, you ain't no goddamn Sherlock. No. You were Superman and some old clothes walking around. I was like, I mean, that lantern jaw and everything, every scene he's in, I was like, yeah, dude, you're not Sherlock. I mean, you're a superhero. Look, no, he's likable. I'm not saying he does a bad job, but I was just like, he's the only thing in this that didn't fit for me.
I didn't mind him. I thought actually it's his best performance. And even then, he don't say much. So I can't, if you don't like Henry Cavill, I can't even make an argument there. And I can't even make an argument with his smoothness in here because the motherfucker is so big.
Exactly.
He might be moving so smooth because he can't move. Hey, Enola, how you doing? I do the deuce. You know what I mean? So, man, I don't know. Maybe it sucks, but I'm just saying I I like this Sherlock. I like this Sherlock that just sits back, doesn't say shit, doesn't try to like come in with a magnifying glass. But like I said, he probably couldn't do it because if he moved an inch, them sleeves would just rip at the seams.
Cut!
Superman S under his You're saying, like, you're looking at his body type and saying you're too stupid to be Sherlock.
I never said stupid. I just said you're too big.
No, too stupid for Sherlock. Not stupid for life or Superman.
For Sherlock.
But for Sherlock, that's what you're saying. You too goddamn big. No one this big can be smart as Sherlock.
There's enough of him there because I thought, okay, they'll bring him and Mycroft in just to make their guest appearance and go like, hey, just so you know, it's part of the franchise, and then take off. But they do play a significant role, but not one that overshadows Enola.
No, it never overshadows Enola. Like I said, this is Millie Bobby Brown's movie, and it could easily get annoying because you saw in the trailer here, you saw that constantly, we already mentioned this, constantly she is breaking the fourth wall, talking to the audience, not only talking to us but asking us questions.
Now, where to begin?
You know, I like that because she could have been just mugging the whole time. And she does actually do a little bit of mugging here. And I mean, she's milking those scenes for what they're worth. But what I like about her talking to the audience is that it's a very honest and earnest way that she does it. You know, when she's looking at the audience, she seems to be very truthful about her flaws, you know, about the things that she's doing. You know, when you look at it, I like it because she's almost like a lonely person that's slowly going crazy.
I thought of a lonely person who's just so happy to have a friend.
And just really, like, she's happy that we're here. That's what it is. This character, when she's talking to the audience, she makes it feel like, oh, God, I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah.
I've been so lonely. Just me and my mom. Hanging out with her all day. I need some other friends. You know, she's, like I said, she still seems like she's not fully confident, which is great because she's never talking shit. Unlike Fleabag, she's never like, what about this motherfucker right here?
That is Fleabag.
Yeah. Yeah, can you believe this asshole? Oh, no, nothing. Huh? You know, she's never doing that.
Right. Yeah, no. I was thinking about that also. It's refreshing to watch her because most of the fourth wall breaking we see, like we get Fleabag, and you think of Deadpool on the other end.
Yeah.
And Deadpool's fine. It's funny. But it's like, I don't want a female Deadpool, which is what they were doing with Harley Quinn, and even half-assed doing that.
Yeah.
So it's nice that this is on the other side of the spectrum. And it's like, man, you know what? She doesn't break the fourth wall all the time. And when she does, she has something interesting or humorous to say. And it's, you know, it's fun when it pops up because it's not constantly happening.
She's never being smug about anything. She's always that thing of her still coming into her own, figuring herself out. You know, this is her first time when her mother disappears. She's thrown into this situation. So she makes it clear that she doesn't know what she's doing. She even tells the people, like, I don't even know how to ride a bike. Because she, you know, and she's never looking for the audience's validation. Actually, she's looking for the audience to help her more than anything. There is one point in the movie where she asks people, she's like, you know, I don't know, what should I do? I got mad actually because I was like, well, if you go out the door, make a little. Why you even ask? You're doing your own thing. Shit. And you know what? She got caught. I like the character, man. It's like she's not too precocious, man. She's just, you know, she seems, unless she's put in a spot where she actually has to fight back. She seems very sweet.
Yeah.
And it's and the things that like Millie Bobby Brown is just adorable in this role here, man. She really does make it fun.
Yeah, it's as if the books, everything about this was written for her.
I like the relationship between her and Helena Bonham Carter. I like that, man. You know, for the few times, because there's not a lot that you see there, but they really do make you believe in a short period of time how much it means to her that her mother, and how much it hurts that her mother's gone. Because there's this confusion of, did she leave because she had to, or did she leave because she just got tired of dealing with my ass? You know, she feels like she's been abandoned.
Yeah, as a child would.
And that when she has to go on her mission of trying to find her mother, it means something. But like I said, Sherlock don't give a shit, and that's why I really like that relationship, because Sherlock, while they don't show him doing the things that you usually see him doing in these movies, they do establish that he has this way of trying to be emotionally distant from people, and instead of trying to make him the perfect Sherlock person that we've seen, or the Sherlock that they want us to love, it's just like, nah, you're kind of an asshole too, man. Like,
yeah, he gets called out a few times.
You said like you just didn't want to have anything to do with the girls in the family after the father's dead, and they say that at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
and he's emotionally detached, and I like that they showed that fault in him too. Like he could have helped her out a long time ago. He could have helped her out at the beginning of this movie.
Yep.
And he chooses not to because he's out there looking for clues everywhere. And he's not crazy.
No.
He just didn't want to.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, exactly. He's not. He's just like, I just want to do what I want to do.
Yeah, but I tell you, he's never cold. He's detached, but he's never cold to where he's unlikable. Unless he's too big to be Sherlock. Like, take that goddamn coat off. You ain't no Sherlock. Yeah. Shit, I might not be you, but I can recognize that shit right there. Case solved. You goddamn Superman. I was scared about this, and even then it didn't play out like I thought it would. The young adult feel of it comes in when a cute boy enters the picture. And I thought I was going to hate him too, man. What's his boy's name? Tewksbury?
Yeah. Lord Tewksbury.
Lord.
Everybody said it differently, but Tewksbury.
Lord Tewksbury. I was like, with a name like that, you got to be an asshole. I actually like the kid.
Yeah.
Louis Partridge plays Lord Tewksbury. He's a runaway and also adds another bit of the mystery to what is going on with Enola's mom, and also what is going on with something bigger in British politics and the suffragette movement.
That played out in a way that I did not see coming.
You know what? I tell you, yes, there are little hints of romance, but they're very small, and they don't play to expectations. Oh, are they going to get together? It's like, that don't matter.
Yeah, we ain't talking about that right now.
Yeah. God damn.
But he's so cute. Good.
Shit. When's this album coming out?
He does look like a member of One Direction.
He does. Tewksbury. I enjoyed watching Millie Bobby Brown so much, man, and watching everybody in here. I enjoyed all the performances in here. There were some side characters that felt real authentic here. That came in and out very quick. But that's, it got to a point where I was way more into these characters and didn't really. It's another movie.
Stop focusing on the mystery.
I did because there's so many twists and details that come up, and for me it gets a little convoluted, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm having more fun just watching the characters. Midway through, and this is 2 hours and like 3 minutes or something, so I think it's a little long because in the middle it got a little muddled, and I was like, I don't even. It's not a bad thing. I'm not even concentrating on the real mystery because I'm just watching the people and having a fun time with that. And I also think that the climax is very weak, man. First of all, the villains ain't nothing special here. They got one dude, the guy in the bowler hat, and he ain't nothing but the typical menacing, silent, grimacing, murderous guy. Just walking around.
That guy's always weird.
That guy's always weird. You'll see him in the movie who we're talking about it. But he just goes through the whole movie. Dun, 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 and I'm just like, all right.
That's his face.
Yeah,
Can't help that.
But he just says nothing. I mean, he's not really a character. He's just there. And one of the main villains in here. And there's somebody in this movie suffers an injury, and I'm like, no, you ain't talking after that. And he's still, and I was like, no, you're dead. Are you at least, man, you were at least knocked out. Or you have brain damage to where you can't even make words.
Well, maybe you could make those few words before the brain just...
No, at that point, what is he trying to say? I don't know, his brain's half on the floor right here. He ain't going to be talking for a while. For the next few minutes he's alive. There's also one villain in here, man, who's monologuing their ass off and loading a gun at the same time. And I'm like, tackle them now. You know? I mean, they're right there, and, they're taking their time because they're talking.
Yeah.
If only you knew what we had to. Oh, sorry, hold on. I was like, attack! I really did like the movie, man. With some small complaints here. What are you thinking?
Well, I really enjoyed it too, and I didn't see the trailer. I just knew it existed, and like you, I thought, what's this gonna be? And captivated me right off the bat, which made me worry. It's like, okay, is this gonna be one of those things where it's really good at first, and then it starts to peter out? And no, I enjoyed it thoroughly the entire time. And those little things you talked about, I noticed them, but they weren't enough to derail my enjoyment. I was like, all right, whatever. I doubt I can ever find a movie that won't do something like this, usually on a grander scale.
Yeah.
And like I said, just the casting of Henry Cavill, only thing that even bothered me, and even that was just like, well, okay. Honestly, watching this, it gave me that feeling of, this is the first time I've wanted to see more of YA books, I feel like, since Harry Potter. It gave me that kind of feeling like, man, you've really built a world and have a great character. And, hey, you got 4 more books. Let's do it. Let's get them going. Let's see the next one. I'll be full price. If I saw this in a theater, I'd be very pleased.
Yeah, no, I would too, man. This is
I was hoping you wouldn't blow this off, but I didn't want to like jump and say like, man, no, you got to watch this.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed this a lot. This is really theater quality entertainment right here. And it's fun. That's what I liked about it. It's just a lot of fun. I do think like it does peter out when you get to the climax.
Yeah, the climax isn't strong.
I would love to give this a full price because I really did enjoy it. But almost, I'll tell you this: you're talking about YA and talking about Harry Potter. This feels like something like what the first Harry Potter movie was. Like, man, this is really fun. It's cool. You did a great job for what you have here. Some parts were weaker than others, especially near the end. But I give this a extremely high matinee. It's man, this is on Netflix. You have Netflix, and you're looking for something that, because everybody's talking about these movies that are supposed to be going to theaters, man. Tenet, they were talking about Wonder Woman. They're talking about Mulan and all. That, man, you got some good entertainment right here.
Mm-hmm.
You got some. Don't let all these be a distraction for you. This is what they're talking about when they say that, let's stay at home and watch something while we can't go to the theater. You're getting theater quality entertainment right here.
Yeah.
If these kind of giddy adventures aren't your thing, then I understand right there. But if you're just looking for something that's kind of lighthearted, but not so light that it's kind of, it doesn't have good moments of action here and there, great moments of acting here. It's a strong film.